Mhm. Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to where you're at in the world. This is another round of Viper Strike 95 Flight Simulation. And today we're actually in an island off of Mexico. Yes, we're here in Cozumel, and it's great to have all you guys here. I want to say uh, hello to all of you guys. I hope you're doing well this week. And man, I gotta say, Monday's stream was absolutely insane. 7 hours um of flight simming from Norfolk all the way to Boston. We got to visit so many American sites, lots of sites of American history and more. So I really was happy. I was not expecting to get rated by both Fabio and Beement, so I'm very happy to finally get this opportunity. So this would be the second stream this week, and yes, we're gonna follow the pattern from our cruise this week ago. So we got to go through all the different ports. So our route for today's trip, by the way. So let's pull up the nav map. So let's look at the map for today's flight plan. We have quite a few little areas we're going to be visiting today. So we'll take off here from Cozumel International Airport. Mike Charlie Zulu. We're going to fly over the main settlement of San Miguel de Cozumel. We're going to be visiting the port for where we left off our cruise. We're going to be then going to the one of the oldest villages in Cozumel, El Cedral, and we're going to fly over Conchi Park. This is where I did my excursion at Cozumel last Monday. We got to visit all that. Then once we go through Cozumel, we'll be getting back into the ocean, and we're going to be flying over the Chacaben Mayan ruins, which I did for Tuesday. Then from there, we'll be then actually I forgot that would be we're actually going to head to the Costa Maya port. So from the Costa Maya port, we will be visiting Chacaben, I believe. So, and then from the Chacaben Mayan ruins, we'll be heading down to Chetumal International, Mike, Charlie, Mike. And then from Chetumal, we're going to be going to the island of Roatan, located in Honduras. We'll be visiting the West Bay. And we get to visit Mahogany Bay for our cruise terminal, and then make our land here at Roatan International Mike Hotel Romeo Oscar. So this should be a good one today. So it should be a fantastic trip for today's trip. This should be really good. So I appreciate all you guys here. Looking in the chat. Hello, DC Viper. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. So give a shout out to DC Viper. He does do his streams as well, just like me. So definitely check out his channel. So the plane we're taking for today is going to be another really interesting plane as well. Now, I think it's a plane perfect for, for these trips. So we're taking we're taking a turboprop plane. It's actually a twin turboprop, but this here is the de Havilland DHC6 Twin Otter. You can get this this is developed by Aerosoft. And I haven't taken the Twin Otter on stream for a long while, so I think it'd be good to take this back. I know it says Solomon Islands, but we don't really care that much. But the Twin Otter is actually a beast. It can handle nearly any sort of terrain you can throw at it. The Twin Otter itself can take off at less than 1,000 feet of runway. I mean, these things were meant to land in places like Saba and all that. But this bad boy here is an absolute beast. It can carry over 6,000 pounds of cargo. It has a range of nearly In the sim, it's about 500 nautical miles, but in real life, the newer variants can go up to 799 nautical miles. Powered by two PT6 turboprop engines, and this thing can take off around 1,000 feet. So this thing is an absolute beast of a twin turboprop. This is perfect for all the short takeoff and landings that even though we're not going to be doing those sort of things, I mean, this is a very popular plane used for short haul stuff. So we're going to get into the cockpit of the Twin Otter. I've operated this plane many, many times, so I know how this works. But I'm going to go each by step. We're going to remove the control lock off the Twin Otter. Parking brake already been set. Emergency fuel switch is normal. Fuel selectors already set. Normal boost pumps off. Position light needs to be turned on. That's high heat is off. Generators off. Flaps all the way up. Fuel levers are off. Propeller, we're going to go ahead and set the propellers both forward. There you go. We're going to set the power up 10%. Okay, good. Ignition's already been set normal. And we got to turn on both the battery and the master source. So, switch the battery. Good. And she's on. Fuel quantity, we're about 300 nautical miles, so I'm going to go ahead and fill as much of the tank as I can. I'm going to have to reduce a bit of passengers. Let's see. The counterbalance isn't great. Okay, maybe 72 and then do just... Yeah, that's going to work. 72% should be enough for our fuel quantity today. Well, for a second there, you're fatty or only fat people allowed. No. Okay, next is going to be, we're going to turn on the forward boost pump. Check. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on the right starter. We're going to go step by step. Check the right thing. We're going to go on fuel control on. Fuel lever. Check. Okay, looks good. And the thing's already back at center. Check. Aft boost pump. Let's turn this bad boy on. Let's gauge the left starter. It's gonna rise, so check that. Everything looks good. Everything's back in center. And then we got the plane started. Now we're going to power levers are pretty good. Now we turn on the generators. Caution lights when appropriate. I'm going to go ahead and beacon lights. So that's it. Everything's on. Only fat people there. Well, we're carrying a few passengers. We're going to carry them to the Caribbean and such. So we're going to definitely need a few people for today. So I'm going to get out some of my notes as we get before we get moving. I'm going to go ahead and go over the slideshows for today's slides. So we're here at Cozumel International Airport. This airport here is located in Cozumel. I mean, as you know, it actually is an international airport that does air traffic through the city on a year-round basis. There are two runways. The two runways in Cozumel, first is the one we're going to take off from runway 3012. That's about 8,000 feet of asphalt. The other one is a cement runway 05/23, which is around 10,000 feet. In addition to this, in 2020, it handled over 268,000 passengers, and it was doubled in 2021 to handle 531,000. And they have destinations from North America, like Cancun, Houston, Dallas, LA, Miami, even Montreal. People do flights, and they fly all over to take vacation here in Cozumel. So they do all sorts of flights here in Cozumel. And basically what Cozumel is, it's actually Cozumel is actually an entire island. It's an island municipality. It's located off the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, opposite of the Playa del Carmen resort city. It's separated by the Cozumel Channel, and basically the economy of Cozumel is tourism based, thanks to the island's beautiful beaches. Scuba diving and snorkeling are all extremely popular in Cozumel. In addition to this as well, Cozumel also has rich Mayan history and culture, because El Cedro is home to lots of Mayan traditions. As well. And its largest settlement is San Miguel de Cozumel. And basically, San Miguel de Cozumel is the largest city in the island. It provides the tourism for the Riviera Maya, which is where we're flying mostly over. Its port actually has a main capacity of around 140,000 displacement tons. There's also another one that's smaller, but it can handle 85,000 gross tons. It has a population of 77,000 people. So that is San Miguel de Cozumel. Yeah, I didn't think SWA flies in there. The Spirit Wings, we don't talk about that. Oh. Yeah, if you always want to join me, I'm on East USA. And our airport is Mike Charlie Zulu is our closest airport for anyone who wants to join in and have a good time in the sun. Runway. I guess we can take off here. And we're going to need a bit. I'm going to also do some trim. We can take off reasonably. Now, before I get going, I need to set my altitude. 1,500 is going to be our cruise altitude. It's 1,500 feet. Let me go ahead. 100 MCZ and MCN. Boom, gotta put that in my Firefly air stuff. And we're gonna be ready to take off. So we're gonna fly over Cozumel. Now this area's got quite a bit of jungles. If you know about the Yucatan Peninsula, there's quite a few jungles here in Cozumel. Look at it, we're already taking off. Jungles and Sinto. Yep. I know there's a payware scenery for this, but I mean, I wasn't really gonna get it though. So we're gonna. You ever go swimming in a Sinto? That's a good question. The only swimming I did was snorkeling and in the submersible scooter. So this is Cozumel. This is San Miguel de Cozumel. Definitely see welcome to beautiful Cozumel. Oh, you mean all the sinkholes? No, I'm not swimming in the sinkholes. Water was cold. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe I could do that at some point, but maybe probably not. So we'll go ahead and just 1,500 feet. Autopilot heading. Get back to the heading, obviously. So we'll be heading near to the port. Now, so I have some pictures from my cruise, actually, DC Viper. So this is the pics from my excursion. So me and my family got to actually pick some of this excursion stuff. So we did the Mayan ball game and explore a Mayan village. And that was actually at a place called Country Park, which is where we're going to be visiting next. And there's a couple things that went on during that time. So the first picture here is we were blessed by a shaman to enter the Mayan jungle. There. And she did a whole elaborate ceremony, and all of it was in the Mayan language, in the Mayan tongue. So she spoke all of it in Mayan, which was really cool and interesting. And the reason she did this was to be blessed. And all that stuff. So it's a purification ritual, and we are purified as well. Now, picture number 2 is pretty cool. Picture number 2 it's an actual Mayan ball game. Yes, this was the games that were played by the Mayans back in the day. And entire tribes and groups actually played their own ball game here. And I got to actually handle the ball. It's like 12 pounds of solid rubber. But the Mayan ball game symbolizes a lot of the wealth and power of the Mayan civilization during the time, with different groups of people, and it's not just an event; it also has religious stuff too, like ritual killing and all that. It was also did for mythology and all that. So the game is actually pretty important to the Mayan civilization. Yep. The third part The third part of my picture here is she actually made homemade tortillas and something called Mayan guacamole. Now I actually had that. And basically what that is basically it's tomato and get this, pumpkin seed instead of your average Mexican guacamole with avocado. They actually did it with pumpkin seed. Definitely a very interesting flavor, and all the tortillas were handmade. and we got to see how the tortillas were made. In addition to the tortilla things, we also got to see how tamales were made the Mayan way. We got to actually see how they made their own tamales, and then we actually got to use them and we got to taste actual Mayan chocolate, not the chocolate we know of, but instead we got to actually taste actual Mayan chocolate made with the cacao plant and stuff. And the way they season some of the stuff is with honey, cinnamon, and black pepper, which definitely after tasting normal chocolate, definitely interesting tasting experience, if you know what I mean. That was definitely very interesting. And then the final thing I did for food was we did the tequila tasting. And here's something interesting about tequila for all those who don't know. The normal tequila you buy in the grocery store, at your local alcohol store and all that, well, they were actually artificially tasted with other stuff because they had to mass produce it. But the tequila I actually had here, that was actually 100% natural agave, 100% all made with agave. There's no additional other artificial stuff in it. No methanol, no nothing like that. So when I tasted it, I didn't even feel like I was drinking normal alcohol. Like, it wasn't bad, and the older it is, the better it tastes. So definitely very interesting tequila as well. Can't drink tequila anymore. Oh, really? Ah, gotcha. But the tequila from there is actually really good. And it's only from one of the local families, and they make it here in Jalisco, which is the only place they make a lot of the tequila. That was quite good. And then during that time, oh, it messed you up. I feel ya. And then during that day also, there was a massive rainstorm. It was pouring down raining during that day. And I mean, I got my shoes and all that wet. It was, oh, definitely interesting to say the least. It was definitely interesting that I got my shoes all wet. So that was the case, and then after we got back in to our bottom right, this is the line dancing, actual Mexican line dancing show, and that was definitely really cool to see the line dancing and all that. So yeah, a very fun way into the day. So we got to actually see the actual Mexican performance. Oh, you're wearing hiking boots. Oh, good. I was wearing tennis shoes, so, but I mean, we were going to do a lot of walking, so I thought tennis shoes would probably be better. So definitely, that's what it was. So yeah, that is our time in Cozumel. That was definitely an interesting day. It was definitely dramatic. Now, the way we got to we got to El Central, I believe, we actually had to take a bus from the port, and we went all the way to hard to be a good pair of hiking boots, but they are not easy to travel with. They are bulky to pack and PITA in the airport. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I completely understand. That's a very good point you made. So I hope you guys are having a great week and everything. Hope things are going well for everyone in the chat. So this is what everything looks like from here. Hey, Balmer! Balmer01, great to have you here, Balmer. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by, Balmer. I hope things are going well. So we're doing our trip through the Watson Caribbean Cruise. It's definitely a very beautiful area here. We're part of the Maya Riviera. The Riviera Maya. So, definitely a very beautiful area. Basically, all this area we're going to visit for the most part is the Mayan Riviera. Started from Playa de Carmen and ended at the village of Tulum, but now it's basically from Cancun to Tulum. But it's very well known for all of its resorts. It has tons of resorts. It has very, very good climate all year round. It's got lots of historical. It's got some great areas like jet skiing, snorkeling, swimming in some of the sinkholes, dolphin swimming, zip lining, horse riding, jungle tours, and archaeology, like all the Mayan ruins and stuff. It's just right. Howard, I'm doing well, Balmer. I'm having a great time with this trip. It's Tulum. Yep, Tulum. Okay. Big storms last night. Afraid we might find in the basement. Oh, hope it ain't too bad. Yep. So I was also just showing off some of my cruise pictures. I'm just going to go ahead and show off some of the pictures again. So this is from the Cozumel trip I did. We had the shaman giving our blessing to enter the jungle. This one's the far left. The center one is the Mayan ball game that we just saw, which is more than just a sport. It was also for religious reasons and for societal. We got to see how the Mayans actually ate some, like, with their tortillas, Mayan guacamole, their chocolate, and tamales. And then we had a Mexican wine show to the bottom right. So lots of really cool pictures. It just showed my cruise thing, and it was quite nice. The things explored were quite that as well. So we're just transporting our guests to the destinations. I'm gonna be back in 1 second. I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry. My nose is kind of acting up. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. So actually, I wanted to. There's something else in the slideshow I do want to mention. So let's go talk about the next thing about the slides. So I actually got to be part of Carnival Cruise Line, and basically what Carnival Cruise Line is, it's an international cruise line. Its headquarters are here in Doral, which is right in the Miami-Dade County, Miami. It's a subsidiary of the Carnival Corporation, which basically has a lot of different cruise line brands. You could tell Carnival from other ones because of its funnel shape, like a whale's tail. And in terms of cruise lines, it's the largest cruise line based on passengers carried annually. As of June 2022, it's operated a fleet of 23 different ships, plus it got 2 new ones on order, and 2 new builds, and then 2 more ships will join the fleet in 2023 and 24 after a venture deal between them and another brand called Costa. Now, they've been around since the 70s, actually. Their first ship was the Mardi Gras, which used to be the RMS Empress of Canada. So the one I got to be in was actually the new Mardi Gras. In the 1980s, they built their first purpose-built ship, the Tropical, which introduced their iconic wing model, which you got to see all their cruise ships. And following the success of their ship and increased competition, they ordered a couple more ships like the Holiday, the Jubilee, and the Celebration. In the 1980s, then their fleet became really big with the new Fantasy class cruise ships. And then in the modern day, they introduced a bunch of stuff in the 2000s, including their biggest ship at the time, the Dream and the Breeze. And then, as of this past, I know COVID was really bad for the cruise ship industry, the cruise line industry, because of COVID. I mean, all those people packed into a small ship. COVID can definitely happen. And I'm currently, there's currently 23 ships. Their oldest ship still used in the fleet is Ecstasy. That's currently sailing from the Fantasy class. So there's that. The ship I was part of is this ship here. I always refer to different cruise line. You sailed on the Arleigh Burke class ships. Ah, cool. You sailed a cruise on a destroyer. That's forgot. You were part of the Navy, DC Viper. So you got to be a part of guided missile destroyers. Oh man, with all those Tomahawk missiles, anti-aircraft warfare, surface air missiles, submarines, all those destroyers. But the ship I'm part of is the ship called Mardi Gras. Basically, this is currently their biggest ship. It's part of their Excellence class cruise liner for Carnival, and it's their lead vessel. It comes at a staggering 181,808 gross tons, which is the largest ship in the history of their fleet. Now, originally it was supposed to come in 2020, but it didn't become. Her main voyage didn't happen until 2021. It took around. She was ordered until 2016, and it didn't get done for about over a year. But this thing's massive, by the way. I got to actually be inside that ship. It is around 1,130 feet long. Its beam is 42 meters. It reaches a depth of 39 feet depth. This thing has got 19 decks. No pool though. Oh, there is a pool. My mom just recently sailed from Holland American Line, the Conix Dam. She said the COVID protections were reasonable. Ah, good. Good. I mean, with COVID being around and all that, you definitely want to have some protection equipment. There's no arguments coming from me. But this ship is crazy. It's got 19 decks. So you got, like, some of these decks include spas. You got all the rooms, including stuff in the balcony in the interior. You have shops. You have a theater in it. There's theaters, shops, restaurants in there. Pools and spa, like pools, hot tubs, water slides, and on the top deck there's even a roller coaster on this. Yes, a roller coaster. They managed to find enough space to put a roller coaster on there on top of it on the 19th deck. It's pretty insane. And here's the thing though, it's projected that speed is actually 23 knots, which for a ship that size, that's actually a pretty decent speed for a ship of its size, and it's powered because it's powered by two 37 megawatt electric propulsion drives. And apparently the capacity, if you include guests, it can carry up to 6,500 passengers with a crew of 2,000 people. I mean that's pretty crazy to think about. Pretty crazy to talk about. And I actually have some pictures on the ship. I think there's more, but most of it is dedicated to food. But these are at least some of the pictures I have. So the hangar bay was enormous. I can't even fathom shit that large. I've won more Keyhawk once. Oh, it's cool. No pools or bars in the USS Johns. Okay, of course. I mean, you're on a military ship. You don't need to have those amenities. You're meant to fight, not to cruise. That's more than the newest 4-class carriers. Yeah, that's crazy. So these are some of the pictures I have of the cruise, my cruise ship. So this here is the big old monograph. It just shows a picture of its size from where I took it. So you can definitely see a port, just the sheer size of this ship. So you got to see all of this. And here's the roller coaster on top of it. That is the Bolt, the roller coaster on top of it. And this ride is about 800 feet long, and and you can travel up to 40 miles an hour. It's also got a little water park area and a sports complex up at the top decks. And I mean, there's a lot you could do here. You can go to you can watch movies from the top deck. You have live stage performances, actual theaters. It's crazy to talk about as well. Pretty nuts. And then the last picture to the right, this was one of the sunsets I took at sea. So yes, I actually sat in one of my rooms was the balcony deck. That's what my main room was. The only issue I had with the cruise is that I had to sleep on the couch. Well, thankfully the couch is a full-up bed, but you know it's not as comfortable as the bed I got in my home. There's definitely that as well. So we should be reaching close to Maya somewhat soon. But yeah, the So that's definitely some of the things about the ship. But in fact, Carnival's actually going to release a couple new ships. They're part of the same class. There's Carnival Celebration and Jubilee that's coming into Carnival in the future, within the next year or so. They're going to bring 2 more ships. And Carnival sails to all around the world. Like they do cruises from everywhere, basically. They do all sorts of cruises you could do, from your short getaway cruises to the Bahamas, obviously, which, trust me, I flew over the Bahamas in the sim. I had a stream there, and the Bahamas were absolutely stunning. Love all the beaches. Maybe low, but the waters are beautiful. But you can sail all around the place. Of course, I'm going to be doing an Alaskan cruise in September. So there's also cruises in Europe. You can go through the British Isles, or you can go through the Mediterranean, or Scandinavia. You could do that sort of stuff. They got cruises into Baja California, Mexico. They got Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. They actually got a cruise in Papua New Guinea. And then they also do your transatlantic and Pacific cruises as well, and the Panama Canal. So you can literally travel through the Panama Canal and all, which would be really cool. That's something I'd like to do in the future. So, in terms of Microsoft Flight Sim, so there is some news that just happened earlier today. So, you know Friends, right? The people who made they made the Optica, the Discus, and the GB. So they just announced their they announced a new plane that's going to come in the summer, which is they're making the PZL 104 Wilga, which is basically a stolen plane from Poland. And in fact, the one they're going to bring into sim is actually the 35A variant, which produces 260 horsepower. And they're currently getting real world sounds from an actual Wilga in the UK. And they also have something unique. And then in the future, I think later on they're going to release the Draco, which is basically is a turbine powered. It's basically the Wilga, but with a turboprop and put lots of steroids on it. I mean, Friends has made some absolutely incredible planes. Hey, Jack Link, good to have you here. I hope you're doing well, Jack. Thanks for coming by. We're currently recreating the my Mediterranean cruise I did. Not Mediterranean, West Caribbean cruise that I did last week. It's going great. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming along on the trip. So we're currently heading to Costa Maya. We're going to be heading there pretty soon. We're heading there. Oh, what plane did you get, Jack? I know there's a lot of planes in Microsoft Flight Simulator. What kind of plane did you get? Hey, come on, Stowe. Good to see you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. So I'm currently cruising down the Maya Riviera. So I'm currently cruising down through that area in Mexico. Oh, a jet-powered glider. Oh, a jet-powered glider. Oh, that sounds cool. Oh, that sounds awesome. Sounds like it flies like a dream. That's fantastic. So what we're going to approach now is we're going to approach Costa Maya, which should be next. That's where we're going to be approaching next. Basically, Costa Maya is like a tourist area here. It literally translates to Spanish Mayan coast. It's located, it's a tourist region in the state of Quintana Roo, Mexico. It's close to the capital of the state of Chetumal on the border of Belize. It was generally undeveloped, but has grown rapidly thanks to the large pier for cruise ships. And it's right near to the village of Manohala. Now, the port of Costa Maya is relatively new, with a modern tourist shopping mall with center plazas and swim-up bars. There's also jewelry stores and shops with souvenirs. But what's great about Costa Maya is it is the closest port to access to some of the lesser-known ruins, including Chacobin and Greenwich, which are basically less excavated than the better-known pyramids, but you're literally right next to the jungle. Now, it was damaged by Hurricane Dean in 2007, but has since been rebuilt. Now the Mayans and all that have been around since ancient times, since before Christ, and they developed a lot of their beautiful cities and civilization, including astronomy. They're big parts of the stars. Yeah, I saw your Discord. I get them from your server or TC's. Oh yeah, Two Cats' servers too. So we definitely do that as well. Then, during the colonial period, the Spanish conquistadors contacted here at Cozumel and around the area. And then, in modern times, it had to be dictated by pirates, the Mexican Navy during the 19th century, and its development as a port during the modern times. Since the 1950s, it's been growing. So that is a bit about Costa Maya. Now it's right next to the visit of Manhuala. It's actually Mahahual, which came from the word Mahahua, meaning such trees. It's basically a village here, and it was previously a small fishing village, but now it's a really developing tourist center. It's very well known for its soft sand beaches, its grass-thatched palapa, which is their oversized dwellings, and the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef along the coast. So, very beautiful area to visit here as well. I had pictures from Costa Maya back there, and let me tell you, the water from Costa Maya was absolutely stunning, and I have them here in my Discord. So let me just post it for my Discord. Hope the Discord invite link works. Let's see if anyone's still playing with us, or... Oh yeah, I can't wait for the next update too. It's the next sim update. I think I'm curious to see what they've changed in the new sim update. I know they're coming out with one in July, so I'm wondering what it's going to be. Oh, the 40th anniversary. Yeah, that one in November is going to be insane. So we're going to get all sorts of new planes for free. We don't even have to pay for it, including the A310, which is a study level A310 for free. Are you kidding? From any builds? Like, that's going to be insane. It's going to be nuts to fly. I'm definitely, yeah, the Firefly with the Spirit of St. Louis would definitely be great to come in the sim. The one I'm most interested in is probably the DC-3, obviously. I love the DC-3 plane. The other one is the Beaver, obviously. The Beaver is the other one I'm really interested in, is the Beaver. I mean, the Beaver is such an iconic push plane. I'm beyond overjoyed to see the Beaver in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Definitely, yeah, for the same reason. And the helicopters and gliders. Definitely for the same reason. Absolutely. So we're going to be heading to Costa Maya pretty shortly. Yeah, less than 15 nautical miles. So. Yeah, we're getting some absolutely beautiful water here. Once we do that, we'll turn a right at 299 degrees once we reach the port, and we'll make our way down to the Mayan ruins. We're going to be visiting today. Oh, I believe someone's going to make a D-Day livery for it, absolutely, since... Imagine how cool to be to own your own DC-3 in real life. Oh, definitely. Own your own DC-3? Yes, that would be amazing to own in real life. I would love to have a DC-3 of my own, but I don't know how expensive it's going to be with maintenance and everything. I'll be back in a second. I got my nose again. Yeah, my nose, my right nose, this part of my nose is just stopped up really bad. So here's our port, the port of Costa Maya. Here's the local airport around the village, and you can see on your ahead of you, there's the Costa Maya port in the little village of Manahual. Here it is. It's not really well modeled in the sim, but you can definitely see some bits of it. Okay, turn to 299 degrees. I would like to have my own Ford Tri-Motor or T6 Texan. Okay, those are good choice. So if I had to pick a plane I want to pick in real life, I would actually like to own my own kit box or something like that. Small, easy, you can handle any kind of strip. That would be a really cool one, and you can get a kit box for like really cheap, like $30,000 for a brand new kit box. Yeah, kit boxes are very lovely. Yeah, they're a lovely little bush plane. So the place we're gonna visit is next one. It is Chakchobin. This is Chakchobin. It's Maya for the place at Red Corn. This is actually a Mayan ruin about 110 nautical miles south of Tulum, and 7 miles from the village that derives its name. This settlement is dated back to 200 BC. And all the structures here have been dated all the way back to 700 AD by archaeologists. It's characterized by a lot of massive temples and platform groups. Now, it didn't take all the way to the 1940s when they discovered it. But the first people to research all of this was in the 1970s and 1972 by Dr. Peter Harrison. And he stumbled upon the site while flying the helicopter and notices numerous hills in the flatlands, and they realized it was temples. And all of this was covered by the jungles for over a period of 2,000 years. And this place has quickly been restoring it to restore the site. And today, many of the visitors can walk a circular path containing the excavated pyramids along with the smalls and staircases. Some of these structures even bear traces of the red paint they were coated with. There's also a large stone statue known as a stela with all the Maya hieroglyphs. And it's actually one of the more popular ruin sites in the southern region of the state of Quintana Roo. In addition to the Mayan ruins, you can also see animals like the deer, peccary, armadillo, gray fox, and spider monkeys. Though if you get deeper in the jungle, you can see the jaguar, ocelot, puma, and tapirs around here too. So here's some of my picks for each of the different sites here. The first picture is the first of the temples you see. We got to actually see both sides of the temple. Now, the way they built those temples was they did it based on the direction of the sun, because, you know, the Mayans were very big on astronomy and all that. So they try to match their day to the sun, which is a big part of the Mayan culture. I mean, people forget the Mayans were master astrologers. And their calendar and all that, their calendar is still the most accurate calendar. They still have the world's most accurate calendar, by the way. Even the Julian year calendar isn't as accurate as the Mayan calendar. I mean, it's pretty amazing that despite not having the modern technology, they're still able to be really accurate with their calendars and stuff. They're also master astronomers too. They even measured the Venus cycle. And they did lots of it. They tracked the movements of the sun, moon, Venus, and stars. And their astronomy even had practical applications, like providing aid for crop planting and harvesting, and all that. Pretty crazy stuff that the Mayans done. They're also great with mathematics. And their language is still being used even to this day, though they're pretty small numbers compared to what they used to be. The middle temple, now in order to get that temple, we had to climb up. We actually had to climb up the staircase, which, by the way, you need to be careful. It can be a little slick. It's easy to lose your foot in here. But once you do, you get to one of the temples above the staircase, which is really striking. And then this part here to the right is, this is where the huts and other centers of the town were located. So you have some buildings have huts, some have your laundry stuff. So basically, these are all the entire community held here. Also, going back to the temples, the people with the most power were the priests and the leaders, followed by the warriors, then the builders, and then the farmers of the lowest class, according to Mayan civilization. Yeah, these are all the pictures as well. Just leaving it on the screen so you guys can take a look at them. Definitely very, very important area. See, all of this is covered, mind you, by jungle. So you can definitely see the scale of all this jungle. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the ruins will show up on Microsoft Flight Simulator, unfortunately, due to all the trees. But I'll definitely take a picture around the area and all that, and show you guys here. Definitely a very beautiful area. Deep into the jungles of Mexico. Here's the village area. Here's the little village of Chachobin. Here's the Chachobin village. Let's see if we can find their place. So here it is. Now this forest here is where the ruins are going to be, right around this area. My ruins is down below. So down here is where the ruins would be. Unfortunately, this area is covered instead by houses, in which should have been Mayan ruins. It's now covered in house. As you can see down below. Yeah, this definitely is pretty stunning scenery. I gotta say, this scenery here is pretty interesting. So the place we're going to be visiting next, by the way, is going to be Chetumal. It's the capital of the state of Quintana Roo. Now, it is the important port in the region. It is Mexico's main trade gateway with the neighboring country of Belize. Due to its position in the Caribbean coastline, Chetumal is overlooked a lot of the tropical cyclones. It even features a museum of Mayan culture as well as a zoo that belongs to the children that actually live here. In addition to this as well, some of its history. During the Spanish conquest of Yucatan, the Mayan state Chetumal followed several Spanish expeditions before being subjugated in the 16th century. In the 1840s, the Mayan people rebelled against Mexican rule and drove all the Hispanic people from the region. And then during the 1890s, they eventually beat the Maya. The Mexican forces beat the Mayan revolts. Look at this. It's absolutely stunning. what a lovely scenery out here today. I mean, this is a really neat area here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That is pretty cool. So we're about to make our way into Chet Mall. Now we're gonna head to Chet Mall, and we're gonna head to the international airport at Chetumal Airport. So this will be our first of our 2 stops for today's stream. This international airport is located here in Chetumal. It handles both national and international traffic for the city. It is operated by the Aeropuertos y Servicios Auxiliares, a federal government-owned corporation. It has 230 hectares of space, with its aircraft platform is around 13.14 meters squared. It has a landing strip that's around 7,244 feet, and they have all sorts of flights, both national and international, including Cancun, Guatemala City, Mexico City, and Miami. So we're going to be landing this for our first stop of the trip. So here it is. Here's Check Mall. Well, I never visited here during my cruise. We are going to make this place here for our stop. Definitely a very great area to fly. So we're going to go ahead and turn off autopilot. And lower the throttle down a bit. 6. Oh, I'm going to let that bleed off some airspeed. We're going to land on runway 10. And by doing this, we're going to drop off some of the people here, and then we can... Let's see if I can get a good landing here. Let's see if we can get this landing down. Perfect. No need for the reverse here. Perfect landing. Perfect. We're going to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and get this thing parked. We could drop off our guests for today, and we'll pick up some more guests. I'm going to have a bio break, so this would be a good time to get all the guests dropped off. Let's go ahead and get this thing parked. And we can go park right here. This. Good. Good. And we can just open the doors. So, all right, guys, we can now make our way into the exit. And everyone's going to get off here. All right, guys, I'm going to take a short bio break, so I'll be heading right back. So I'll be right back, and we'll get back to flying in the air. Hey guys, I'm back. Hey guys, I'm back. So we're ready to go on to our part two. We're going to be traveling. So we're going to go ahead and travel down from here to so we're going to go ahead and get things prepared from here. So we're going to head back and head our way to Roatan. So for our nav map for this leg, we're going to go ahead and take off from our parking spot here at Chetmal. Fly 10,000 feet. We're going to fly over across the bay, and we're going to head our way to Roatan in Honduras. So, pretty easy flight route for this leg. So, before we do, we're going to go ahead and everyone's got loaded in. We put fuel into the thing. Should be enough for. Passengers closed. We're going to go ahead and put the fuel thing back in. Nope. That's going to conclude. Okay. Well, our engines started. So now we've got everything started here. We're gonna go take off from runway 10 to runway 10. Or you know what, we can actually take off from runway 28. I don't really care if it. Let's take off from here. Hey friends, all good to see you. Yeah, I still think this is a solid plane. I think this is still a really solid plane for it all. I definitely still like flying it. Though I understand if you rather pick a turbo plane for your money, I still take the Kodiak. But I think this is a nice and soft plane. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off. seems like a great choice. It is. It is a great choice for the versatile arc as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take circuit. So here's more Shet Ball. Go ahead and autopilot, heading mode. Let's see. 1,000 people. No. We now just let Shet evolve. We're gonna head our way into Roatan Honduras. But man, look at the water. This is stunning. This is definitely a very beautiful area. So we're continuing now to climb up a bit higher as well. So yeah, for all, I did have several slides earlier today. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So, once I get done with the stream, I'm going to be planning for the next Japan stream on Sunday. So I was just talking about my cruise as well. So if you want me to, I can show you some of the pictures from my cruise. If you wanted to see them, friends all. So this is from my pics from Cozumel. So we got to meet the shaman, Mayan shaman, giving us a blessing to enter the jungle. We got a Mayan vlogging picture. We got to see how the Mayan food has been made with their own homemade corn tortillas in Mayan guacamole. And finally, we had lunch, real lunch, and we got to see Mexican line dancing from our time in Cozumel. And then we visited. There's the pics from the ship, including the roller coaster, picture of the sunset, and just see the size of the ship. It's massive. Then there's the middle picture, which is the roller coaster. The bolt goes up to 40 miles an hour. And then the last one is a picture of the sunset. Beautiful. And then we went to Costa Maya. We got to visit the Jacobin ruins, which is the old Mayan ruins there. So I got a few pics up here. We got to see the Mayan ruins, like all which are really cool. Some of them had dated back to 700 AD. You just got to see there's an entire community of people living in these jungles. So definitely some really cool pictures as well. Some really cool stuff. Very cool. Sorry about the roller coaster. Earlier you mentioned Mayan astronomy. Do we understand their number system and how they did it? Great question. Mathematics? On their numerals? Well, their numeral system is what determined their calendar dates, and it was based on a base 20 numeral system. And they made up all sorts of different symbols. 0 is like a shell, 1's a dot, and a 5 is like a bar. So that's how they did all their maps and stuff. But definitely some beautiful areas for flying. Yeah, did the record survive of it? There isn't too many records because, you know, the Spanish destroyed a lot of the manuscripts. Though in the 1890s, people have been trying to discover more about the Mayan civilization. Yeah, there's a less advanced Navy rooms in the Southwest, not, you know, besides Rod. I'm not sure the current status. Ah, got it. .10,000 feet. They're about nearly 10,000 feet. Or about. I'm stunned by the Mayan base number 20 system made the count. They use their 0. Yeah, I thought zeros were pioneered by the Arabs. Well, for most people in Europe, for most Europeans at the time, they thought the Arabs were the ones who pioneered it. But it turns out the Mayans have had the number system for just as long. pretty crazy. So we're going to be heading towards the island of Roatan. This is where we're going to be heading to next. So basically, the island of Roatan is located 40 miles off the northern coast of Honduras. It's the largest of the three of the Bay Islands here in Honduras. It's about 48 miles long, less than 5 miles across its widest point. The island actually rests on an exposed ancient coral reef rising about 270 meters above sea level, or nearly 900 feet. Now, a lot of the reefs are great for diving and all that. The most populous town on the island is Coxenhole. Also, Roatan is located near the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, the largest barrier reef in the Caribbean, and the second largest behind Australia's Great Barrier Reef. And currently, Roatan has since become very important for both cruise ships, scuba diving, and ecotourism in the country. With tourism being by far the most important economic sector, though fishing is still really important as well. Yeah, it was intentionally destroyed. Yeah, a lot of it was destroyed by a guy named Diego de Landa. He was the one who... Yeah, it is a shame. It's taken hundreds of years to even get back to all the documents that we found back then. So let's see some of the, yeah, just, that is, see, all this area is right around the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. another thing about Roatan, some of its history. So the first people to visit here were the natives. The indigenous people came part of here during the time when Christopher Columbus visited the islands between 1502 and 1504. And the Spanish became, they traded here for slave labor, but the thing that devastated this area was the infectious diseases, which the natives had no immunity to, like smallpox and measles. And as a result, none of the native indigenous people survived the epidemics. Throughout the colonial era of Europe, the Bay of Honduras attracted all sorts of settlers, pirates, traders, and military forces, and that, as a result, various economic activities were engaged here in political struggles. Mainly Britain and Spain have actually been part of this island. Sea travelers also stopped over at the islands as a resting point for their trips. During the time between 1550 and 1770, buccaneers found the vacated islands as a safe harbor for their transports. So basically, around 5,000 pirates have actually lived here. Then the British have held on to the island for a couple. They've actually held on to the island throughout much of the 19th century and most of the 20th. For most of the 19th century until it was handed over to the custody of the Honduran government in 1860. During the 20th century, Roatan continued to grow in population thanks to economic changes and all that, and challenges with the environment. And there's also lots of tourists present. So that is some bit of the history about Roatan, the island. And then its capital, Coxenhall, is the largest city in the island. The city was founded in 1835 when British families moved here from the Caymans. It was named after pirate Captain John Coxon due to the fact that during the 17th century, the island was home to over 5,000 pirates. Definitely some very beautiful islands here, with all sorts of the look at this right here. These are all the atolls and all that from around here. This is where a lot of the Mesoamerican reefs and all that are from, in these atolls. Just beautiful. Yeah, just nice, relaxing cruise. Now, mind you, it took us 3 days to get it took us 2 days from Cozumel to Roatan. It took 3 whole days. With all the cruise time and all that. Mind you, we can get all this done in 3 hours. Pretty insane. Think about it. Just stunning. Gotta say something myself. Let's see. We're about 100 nautical miles out of Roatan. Man, this is just beautiful. I love the little atolls around here. Atolls. This one ahead of us, according to my nav map, is Lighthouse Reef. It's one of the 3 atolls of the Belize Barrier Reef. There are several little islands. Now, most of the plants here are the coconut trees. It's also home to the magnificent frigate birds, along with the colonies of 4,000 red-footed booby birds and white-crowned pigeons. Obviously, the most dominant fish species in the reef are the Creole Ross and the blue chromis. But there's also home to several endangered species like the American crocodile, along with 3 species of turtles like hawksbill, loggerhead, and green sea turtles. Man, didn't that look beautiful? Look at that. Look at the atoll pretzel. We're probably not cruising on certain speeds. Yeah, we're not too far at all. We're slowly gonna get there. So, I was looking at the Indianapolis international scenery. So, I'm definitely interested in it because that's where I landed on my flight home. I flew to Indianapolis there. So as I saw, I don't know though. It's got some. It's mostly positive reviews, though. There's some issues with it from what I heard. Sorry about that. I mean, there's just not a lot of things going on. So I'm currently working on the Japan stuff. Got that worked on. So by the way, I'm gonna guys show you about some of the pictures I had in Roatan. I felt like that would be a good time to talk about it. So let's talk about some of the pics I did. The last picture here, there's actually one of the many shipwrecks you can find in Roatan. It's a shipwreck. Now to my this picture here, this is the boss, which basically is buoyant observation submersible scooter. It's buoyancy observation submersible scooter, and we ride one of these down, which is in the third picture, what they look like. And those are really cool. We got to get really close to the fish underwater. Now, obviously, I struggled at it first because when I would try to dive, I get salt water in my eyes, and that really stings. And then the third picture is me underwater with the submersible scooter, with me and my dad. And then the last picture here to the far right, that is Roatan International Airport, which I'll cover a little later. But yeah, this airport is pretty interesting. He is doing this slide full screen. Oh, this. Let me. It is at full screen, but I guess I can. It's full screen, I guess. There. This is what full screen is. This is full screen, what it looks like. So yeah, this is full screen, what it looks like. How about stream full screen? I don't think I can make it full screen unless I want to. About 69 miles away from our destination now. 64 to be exact. And I think I see the island. It is. There's the island. Or at least it's actually one of the Bay Islands. Utila. Okay, now I see Roatan. Roatan's straight ahead. Yeah, there's Roatan right here. Straight ahead. There's the island. Oh, any VOR ADF? There's no VOR around here. Let me go check. No, the closest VOR is at Roatan International. There'll be none of those here. Our destination, we are around 55 nautical miles from our destination here. So guys, I think we're about to make our way down to Roatan. So I think we might be getting, or maybe it'd be a good time to actually drop down a bit. Let's go to 2,000 feet. We should get pretty close. Almost there. We're just a little bit too fast. So our airport today is going to be at Juan Manuel Galvez International. This airport here was actually named after Juan Manuel Galvez, the former president of Honduras. This airport is an international airport in Roatan, 31 miles off the north coast of Honduras. It serves both national and international air traffic up the island, the nearby cities, and for the region. It has one runway, 07/25. It's about 7,365 feet of runway. And there's all sorts of airlines that fly here. Aerolíneas Salsa flies all throughout Honduras. American Airlines actually flies here from Dallas, Fort Worth. The American Eagle regional line flies from Miami. Delta can fly here from Atlanta to Roatan. Sunwings flies seasonally for Toronto. Sun County Airlines flies from Minneapolis. Tropic Air flies from Belize. And United Airlines flies from both Houston and Denver, depending on the season. So yeah. Yeah, so the airport actually has international traffic, some benefit. So there's that. Let's see who's with us. I'm sorry that I'm sorry for not really in the full, you know, energy and stuff. It's just, I had that 7-hour stream, which is quite a bit of work. It's relatively nice, chill, relaxing. So ahead of us is the island of Roatan. Should be ahead of us. So we're getting pretty close, so you can definitely see some bit more of the island. Hey, Tarnish Moshman, it's going great. So Tarnish, I was just showing off some of my cruise, some of my pictures and stuff of my cruise. So I have my pictures from Cozumel right here, like the priest, the Mayan ball game, the traditional Mayan food, and line dancing. So these are some of my pictures from there. And then these are my pictures from the cruise ship. Like there's the cruise ship at port. One of the sunsets I took from my balcony room. And then I have my roller coaster ride. Yes, this cruise ship, the Mardi Gras, the newest one currently in service, has a roller coaster on top of it. And then we had the Chacobin Mayan ruins, which I visited there during Costa Maya. So I got to see some of the Mayan ruins, which is really cool. Some of these buildings have been dated back to 700 AD. And we got to learn a bit about Mayan culture and all that. And then finally I have pictures from during my time at Roatan, which is where our final destination is going to be. So we have the beautiful port. I got to go underwater in an underwater scooter. I had snorkeling, and we visited over Roatan International. We drove past it. Yeah, the ship is huge. Like it's 1,000 feet long. 1,000 feet long. It's like 39 feet deep in depth, and it weighs over 181,000 gross tons. It's huge. The ship is massive, tonnage. Like it's huge. Was boarding and deboarding time consuming? Ah, good question actually, Bernal. Actually, the boarding and deboarding didn't take too much. It was mostly waiting because we had so many people. Like, we had to get our screening, we had to get our passport scanned, photo ID, we had to do paperwork. But once you got all that done beforehand, boarding wasn't that bad. And deboarding was even faster. We deboarded really quickly. We deboarded, like... we deboarded extremely quickly. Like, we just had to grab our luggage, all that. They did one final scan, and we get back to the transportation and head back to the airport. So it wasn't bad at all. So here it is. Here's Roatan. Here's the island of Roatan, guys. Did you guys once know? So easier at Port of Call. Yeah, it is easier at the Port of Call. Yep, it is. It is easier. So here's the island of Roatan, guys. Did you guys know that in Coax and Hole, the most populous thing of the island, at the 5,000 pirates once lived there during the 17th century. Beautiful. The island is beautiful to see in real life. They were part of the same pirate team. No, I think they were different pirates. I'm gonna go ahead and disengage the autopilot. This is West End. So this is the area where I took the, this is the area right here where I did the diving and all that. So you can definitely tell this island definitely has some hills and elevation. Hey! Hey, hello guys, can't stop, just popped in to show my support. It's great to have you here, Dangerous Brian. Thanks for coming along. We're right around our final destination here at Roatan, an island that's governed by Honduras. It's largest of the 3 Bay Islands here. Now, of all the places I've visited on a cruise, Roatan is my favorite. I mean, the island itself is stunning and I had a great time. So. Is land rate monitor logging all your flights on the map? It is. It is logging my flights, actually. I'm on the Two-Tone Murphy Discord, and it's logging all my flights. Weird. Weird. Charge, I think I know what's wrong. Did you set this on your personal pilot profile instead of your Firefly Air thing? Did you forget to set it there? So we're heading down to the Mahogany Bay port. Mahogany Beach is our port. This is where we got ported here. Features an old private beach area, and besides just the diving stuff, in Roatan there's also diving, golfing. You can sport animals. There's a botanical garden here too. A little bit steep on the banking. And we're gonna make our final landing here at Roatan International. So like I said earlier, we don't just fly from, it doesn't just fly in Honduras. I mean, Roatan also does a lot of flying in the US even. Because this area is very popular with tourists. Very, very popular. Yeah, the coastline's nice. It's beautiful. I have pictures of it, Dangerous Brian. I mean, look at the far left picture, and I mean, it's stunning. The pictures of Roatan are stunning. It's disconnected logs flight, but not the map. Oh, I don't have AeroPad, but I think you have to refresh your map. Press the refresh thing when you get to your dashboard or something. Okay. Okay, Doc. Well, look at that. We made our way into Roatan, guys. Welcome to Honduras. So we traveled through the coast of Cozumel, then we reached Chetumal, and now we're back here at Roatan. So thanks for coming, everyone. I really appreciate it. This was a nice, really relaxing flight. Very relaxing journey. So we're gonna get parked, and then after we get done with parking and everything, we'll end the stream here. I know I didn't really chat much, but I wanted to have a nice, relaxing flight. Since, you know, I did a whole 7-hour stream on Monday. It just reached Allison Johnson territory in terms of length. You can go ahead and turn off the plane for good. And we can get everyone up. And looks like everyone's out of the Twin Otter. And the passengers have all finally made their way here into Roatan, Honduras. Beautiful island here to visit in real life. It's absolutely a stunner to visit. So guys, I want to say a big thank you to everyone here that's come by. Thank you guys so much. So on Sunday, we will continue the Japan Adventure Tour series. This will technically be both an Adventure Tour series and a City Tour series. It won't in one because we're going to be visiting Tokyo, Japan, but also Mount Fuji. So that one is going to be an absolutely insane Sunday stream. It's going to be pretty insane. We're going to visit Tokyo, Yokohama, Mount Fuji, and Nagoya, which is going to be absolutely incredible. So thank you guys so much for coming along onto the stream. For someone to raid, so I wonder. Let me get to my Twitch, and I'll probably pick out the person we're gonna raid. Let's see. Because Merv doesn't come on until shortly, so I think we're going to raid.
Big up. And
I think we're going to raid. We're actually gonna raid Fly Lilo today. We're gonna raid Lilo today. For guys who don't know about Lilo, he's a big inspiration for me. He's quadrupedic, but despite his disability, he is a really excellent pilot, and I think you guys should definitely give him some support. So, guys, thank you so much for coming along onto today's stream. Take care, everyone, and Fiberstrike 95 will be signing off. Take care, everyone!